Good morning, friends. How's it going? I guess for a lot of you, it's probably like afternoon already. But how are you all doing? I hope that you're doing well. It's a bit of like a rainy day here, um, which is good. I'll be that person and say, we need the rain. However, the rain always makes my body hurt. So I decided I just wanted to throw on a hat and some comfy clothes and just have a bit of a relaxing morning. So, yeah, I'm gonna open up my fizzy water and have a sippy sippy. I'm here early for once. I was here early too. Like, I got up like at a reasonable hour and everything, so that's like exciting. Hello, Rob. How's it going? So my plan for the rest of the day, I'm gonna stream and paint a little bit with all y'all. And then I'm going to take my dog for a walk. I'm going to clean my house. And then I'm going to start setting up a little set for recording the segments for my podcast. Because I'm going to record in video. And I think then I can more easily post stuff to YouTube as well. Um, so I'm going to set that up because I bought a camera. I told you guys last week I was gonna do it, and I did it. I was actually just gonna decide this week which camera to get, but I decided, and then I saw that like it's basically sold out everywhere. It's got really great reviews. It's very sought after, and there's still kind of like issues with Sony supply line. So I bought it. My husband had to like talk me into it because I am very practical and I very rarely make big purchases on myself. Um, so I bought it. Um, and yeah, so that should be here this week sometime. And then I should be able to start recording soon. Like, that's pretty exciting. Hello, Tanya Warmistress Gates. Hello, Pesler. How's it going? What is this waking up at a reasonable hour thing you speak of? I either wake up at 5 a.m. or 2 p.m. I'm usually like up by 9. But I was out of bed at like 8:20. So I'm giving myself like 40 extra minutes, which is awesome. Um, I hope you enjoy using it. Thanks, Rob. Me too. It's going to replace this camera, this like top-down camera. So it's going to replace that one so you guys will be able to like see better what I'm doing when I'm painting. So it'll replace this one. It'll replace my phone camera for taking stills of miniatures because it's just not working for me. And it's not working to the point that like I don't want to take pictures of my minis. Like I've had these guys painted forever and I tried taking pictures and the colors are just so off in my phone camera that I've just not posted anything. So hopefully when I get this new camera, it'll take better stills. Yeah, I mean, it has to. It's got a huge sensor. It'll take better stills, and then I'll like actually want to share my work with people again. So it's gonna replace that one, and then it'll take decent video. I had gotten a micro four thirds camera that I thought was gonna be good for video, but the screen is so bad that when you watch it back, you just don't know if it's like a good video or not. So, yeah. So hopefully this new camera is going to be good for me, and it'll be. I tried to pick a camera that's going to be small enough and convenient enough that I will like want to use it all the time. So we'll see. So what am I going to do today on this miniature? Today, I also need to turn down my music because like I can't even hear myself think right now. Okay. I hope that you also have picked out some fun music to listen to since I can't share music with you. Um, I just got my hair dyed this morning, and her phone was definitely changing the color. Yeah, yeah. Everybody says that the Google Pixel camera is so good. It is good for selfies. It's good for like capturing skin tones accurately. It doesn't capture colors accurately at all, and it's like bummer. Okay, so I am going to start working on the armor. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to paint, I think, the knee and this thigh piece to completion so you all can kind of see the um, process that I'm going to use. I also got these really tiny brushes. I mean, okay, it's tiny for me because normally I use these. So my friend Dano recommended these ones for me from Amazon, and like he's a professional artist, so I'm gonna be using this brush today to see how it handles doing fine detail. Cause this one's okay. Yeah, it's okay, but we're gonna try this one. And I think these were like I think they were like $14 for seven, so like $2 a piece. Um, Same happens with me. My phone camera makes my Space Marines look more seafoam greenish than it actually is. I add a filter sometimes to make it look closer to what it actually is. Yeah, I've tried fixing it in post, but like a lot of the mobile programs will just do like an all over edit. So then I'd have to like upload these photos into Photoshop to accurately edit them back down. And like by then, like I might as well just get a better camera if I have to put things into Photoshop anyway, is how I'm feeling. So this new camera I'm super excited about. Okay, so what colors do I have in my palette? I have, okay, so this is just a base coat of bright jade. Bloop. And this is going to be like the shaded color because it's going to look like this kind of off-white color is what we're going for in the end. So I have Toxic Mist, and then I have a 2-to-1 of Toxic Mist and Bold Titanium White, and then I have a 2-to-1 of Bold Titanium White and Toxic Mist, and then Bold Titanium White. So these are like the 4 steps of highlights that we're going to do on this guy. So I'm just going to go in to the straight Toxic Mist, and this is an Army Painter color, so it usually needs a bit more thinning there. Paints are a little on the thick side. So I'm going to thin that down. Also, working with these lighter colors is very difficult. So you kind of want it to be a little bit thin. If you have to do more than one coat, that's probably better than um, getting it kind of chunky. But I think with me, because I'm not a painter that will take like that much time on minis. So I think I've just come to the acceptance that there's going to be a certain amount of texture on these metal models. Um, but I think it's fine. I might even be the only one who really truly notices and cares. Of course, I have a bit of the shakes today too, and I'm going to be doing this fine detail work. That seems that seems about right. See if I can brace myself a bit better. I'm just going to do these corners off screen. And I messed up, so I'm going to have to... Oh my gosh, I'm so shaky. I have an idea to fix it, so I'm going to let that dry. Is it possible that the light temperature is off on the camera? No, because you can actually see it. You take the picture and it looks fine, and then you go look at it in the gallery, and then you can actually watch in real time as the camera's AI or whatever places a filter over it that completely changes all of the colors. It is the most bizarre thing. So, yeah. And then if you change the light temperature on the camera. You can make like the purples and blues look a little bit more accurate, but then everything else looks more orange. So it's like they've obviously done some sort of algorithm or something that just changes these specific colors. So then either way, one of your colors is going to look not correct. Um, yeah, so it's a bit of a bummer actually. So I made a mistake on this side and I didn't leave enough of a margin. So I'm just going to take that base color, the bright jade from Monument Hobbies, and I'm just going to fix it up. Yep, there we go. I'm liking all these light blues. Yeah, like I think it's a pretty good contrast. The kind of really light blue with the mid blue and then the bright green and then all the dark kind of details of the weapons and whatnot. I really, really like this color scheme. It's not originally what I had intended, but kind of just organically became this, and I'm not mad about it. Okay. Trying to maintain the tip. See, this is why I don't normally use tiny brushes, is because I feel like they lose their shape a little bit easier than big brushes, so I'm not used to working with a brush this small, but they came highly recommended, so I'm gonna give them the college try. That a little? Yeah, that's a little dent there, so I'm gonna have to fix this little indent. I didn't realize that it was one. Whoopsies. And yeah, this army painter color, it's really thick. So sometimes finding like the right balance of like water to paint is a little bit difficult. And you absolutely have to wait until it's dry before you do the next layer. It's like a little bit of a pain, but I'm committed to this color. Okay. I'm also really excited because the next time that I go down to play on, I'm gonna have my camera, and I'm gonna get a little bit of mentoring from Nick on how to like do do video actually, make something that people will want to watch. So I'm really excited for that. I mean I have a lot of self-doubt because that's the way I'm built. I'm not like a person that has a tremendous amount of self-confidence when it comes to trying new things. Um, so even though I have doubts about whether or not I'll be able to like up my video quality or anything like that, I'm excited to learn stuff and at least give it a try. I don't think it's going to be like an easy process for me to learn, but I think it'll be rewarding and like maybe it'll be something that I really enjoy doing too. So And when you have like an amazing resource like all of my friends that play on tabletop who support me and want me to be successful, it's you can't turn down those opportunities. So I'm really excited. So when I'm putting that first layer on, I'm leaving the recesses, like a little border in the recesses. I know a lot of people like to pin wash to get the same effect, but this is just how I've sort of always done it, and it's part of my personal style. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm avoiding using a wash, but I'm basically taking a step out by making that base coat a little bit um, darker than maybe you would if you were doing a pin wash. Go get it, learn and crush it. Yeah. I wish that I had that kind of like self-confidence to be like, yes, I'm going to learn this. Yes, I'm going to rock it. Um, I've always been very like, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm gonna try. So I don't know if you can tell in the camera, it is not a very opaque layer, and that's because I'm trying to avoid a lot of the texture that these particular light colors can give you. So we're gonna do two coats of this. But this, I don't even need the second coat to be super opaque because we're gonna be adding extra layers on as well. To add more water. I don't know what it is about the Army Painter medium. It's very, I don't want to say difficult to work with, but it is difficult to work with. Um, like the paint dries faster than other brands. It's thicker and you have to thin it, and um, I just love this color. I actually threw out my other Army Painter paints that I bought at the same time because I was like, I'm never going to use these. The pigment payoff is not as good, and I have other paints that just do this better. But this particular one I kept because I don't have a lot of pastel-like colors. Um, and I just really like this one. I just think it's neat. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna paint that little recess after. That one that I didn't realize was a recess. Okay. You know what? I might as well do the knee at the same time while I'm here. Yeah. Yeah. Two thin coats. Yes, exactly. Two thin coats. I have a bunch of paints that probably aren't going to remain in my collection. Yeah, the Warmister and I were talking about this earlier today, and like I feel like I have a wide enough selection of colors now that um, I have enough to do most of the basics, and then any colors I don't have, I normally can I can mix. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my selection of colors that I have going on now. Okay, so I'm gonna do the little knee armor as well. So it looks like the delineation between the two armor halves is here. I also find when I paint on stream that I am guessing at a lot of the small details. I'm wearing my glasses today though. I did it. Um, but yeah, I feel like I have to guess a lot at like where the details are. Because I don't see well far away, and I usually paint like right up next to my face. So I am guessing. I was also thinking, since I probably only have 2 more sessions on this guy, that I'm already starting to think ahead to my next project, and I think I want to paint an orc. Or I have unlocked a big boss through Geargus Mech Shop, and it's already been designed, and maybe I'll paint that if I can get it printed in a couple weeks. It's a really cool piece. I think you all are going to really enjoy the design when you see it. Okay, I'm just going to take a little peek, fix up some of these lines off camera. Sorry. Go. That looks pretty good. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with the 2-to-1 that is Toxic Mist and White. I'm going to thin it down. And on this step, I'm going to leave some of the areas that are in shadow. So I'm only going to do from here. And I'll do a little bit here on this upper corner. I'll do here. Do here. Go this way. To all of this panel, this side of the panel here. So I'm going to be building up a little bit of a shadow here, slowly, with a few different layers. And you can see how that first highlight layer is like the most tricky. It's the one that takes the longest. But then everything else after that like really doesn't take that long. So I'm just going to do a little bit here. And I'm just going to grab the edge. Might have to do this one off camera because it's a little tricky right next to the black. I'm just going to put like a little line along the edge of here. So I just cleaned up that edge. I'm going to do a little bit here. I'm looking forward to the year of painting ahead of me. I'm looking forward to it too. How much time do you usually spend on a model? Kind of depends. I mean, I guess on average, like 4 to 8 hours per model. Yeah. But it's hard because I normally like assembly line things. So, like my project that I have going on off camera is these guys. I'm doing 4 of these guys at the same time. Um, so I don't even know how much time I have invested in these guys already, but I'm probably like I'm probably like 10 hours in on the 4 of them so far, but I've still got a lot to do. They're maybe 2/3 done. Um, so yeah, it's hard to say. Kind of depends on the project. I spend less time in general on my night haunt than I do on some of my other factions. Um, but yeah, that's probably like the best that I could actually say is like somewhere between 4 and 8 hours per model. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the um, 2-to-1 white to toxic mist. It needs a little less thinning because it is mostly Monument Hobbies paint. And I'm going to, again, pick out more of the sides that are going to be getting more light on them. And I'm just going to do a little bit of an edge highlight on this shadowy side here. So this will not be getting a pure white edge highlight. This will be the top highlight here because I want it to be a little bit more like in shadow. So I'll do an edge highlight probably just on like the top half here. And then here, I want to leave a little bit of that 2-to-1 toxic mist uh, titanium white. I want to leave a little bit of that. So we're just going to, again, just trying to create the illusion of being in the shadow. I'm just going to do a little dot here. A little bit here. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of an edge highlight on this inside as well. So I'm going to do a little bit here. Does the helmet have eye holes, or is it like a classic anime full coverage and they use science to look outside the helmet? There's teeny tiny little eye slits here. I don't know if you can see. And I'm going to paint them the fluorescent green that's on these guys. Anything that you see that's green is going to be that fluorescent kind of color. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of an edge highlight here. Up here. And a little one here. And then a little one on top here. And that'll be good. And now I can go in with the bold titanium white and I can do edge highlights on the brightest areas. Okay, so this is just 100% white. And it doesn't really need to be thinned because this, it's just the best white ever. So I'm going to do edge highlight here. I will say, I do like this brush for edge highlighting. It's kind of stiff because it is a synthetic brush. So I do like it. The paint does dry out on it like a little bit faster because it is a smaller brush, and that, I don't know, takes a little bit of doing for me to remember to wash my brush a little bit more. I have the shakes so bad, y'all. This is ridiculous. And I'm just going to highlight this. I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but this sort of circular or square, sort of rectangular area, it is a little bit raised. So I'm just going to catch the edges of that with the side of the brush with the pure white. And then this, I'm just going to edge highlight about halfway. And again here, I'm going to edge highlight about halfway on the bottom as well. I got a little bit too much here. I don't know if I'll be able to fix it, but it is in a part that's black, so oh, actually, that needs to be that color. Well then, it's a happy accident, because now I can fix it. So, I'm gonna grab this, not this one, this one. I'm just gonna go in with this blue-green by Model Color and fix that up, because I missed it. I missed it. Camera doesn't catch it, but having painted Infinity, I can picture it. Yeah, it's much different than painting like anything else really that I that I normally paint. I do find it challenging, but it's like a fun challenge, and I like the aesthetic. Like I've always really liked kind of cyberpunk and things like that. So it is fun to try new things. think my painting style makes it a lot harder to paint these. Um, but you know, they still look cool in the end, even if they do take a lot of work. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's good enough. Okay, so that is 2 areas of armor done. What do you guys think? It matches pretty good, I think. Considering I have to mix all the highlight colors and stuff. Oh yeah, there was something I wanted to do. I needed to fix this. This color here. I have to do it up here though, because actually, you know what? You can't even tell. I'm just gonna leave it. Nobody's gonna see it. I am gonna clean up this little bit here that I didn't do a very clean highlight on. Clean it up a little bit. Need a little bit more water here. Okay, there we go. Thanks, Rob. Okay, so I guess I might as well just do the other side too. It's a little bit tougher because I have to paint around the holster. Um, but, you know, let's go for it. So we go back in with Toxic Mist, water it down, because it's probably dried a bit on your palette by now. And we'll just start doing the base coat, which takes the longest. Have to guess a little bit at where these panels are. And I do find with these lighter colors that you really have to let them dry before you judge your highlight layers, because they do tend to dry darker than they go on. I guess they go on lighter than they dry. So that's my suggestion if you're ever painting light colors, is like just really wait till they dry before judging them. Let them reach their final form. I do like the gradient that I've created there. Okay. And like you just have to constantly be thinning down this toxic mist. And if you're a person who like gets the shakes and stuff, like be easy on yourself. Sometimes when my shakes are really bad, I try to find ways to like double brace myself. So like right now I'm braced here and I'm braced here, and I'm braced here and here, so it kind of like, you can kind of counteract some of it, but you can also usually like fix your mistakes like I did on the other side. You can't even tell. I made a little boo-boo over there on this particular step of the process. I'm like in the zone, you know? I just can't. It takes so much concentration to paint these armor panels. Probably holding my breath too. Uh-oh. Fixed it. I do think that I maybe messed up a little bit in here, but I think that I can fix it. So I could also just be being a perfectionist. So maybe I'll just leave it. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it actually. Use it as a moment to do some cognitive behavioral therapy. I could fix this teeny mistake that nobody else is going to notice, or I could just leave it. That seems like the best option. I'm just going to leave it. Yeah, I always say that I'm like a recovering perfectionist because um man, perfectionism it'll just like suck the joy out of everything. And a lot of times like that's a lot of times why I don't have like the confidence to do stuff, to try stuff, because like, oh well, it won't be perfect. Well, what's the point then? You know, like perfectionism, I know some people are like, oh, perfectionism's good. It's not. In my experience, it's like debilitating actually. So, little wins, like leaving a tiny mistake that nobody's gonna see. Okay, I'm gonna do his kneecap too. How big is a squad for this team? Well, this is like a starter for Code 1. I think there's 7? I think there's 7 models in it. So, but the faction itself has tons. It's one of the bigger factions actually. But yeah, I have committed to painting 7 models total. So, once I finish this guy, I'll be like over the halfway mark. Okay. I do have to like mindfully be aware that I have to wash my brush more. these light colors are particularly hard on your brushes. I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that um, like whites and yellows and stuff are actually harder to mill very fine. So if that's the case, then it'd be like metallics, and once those pigments get dried in your brush, like it'd be really hard to remove them. Most Infinity lists will run around 15 models. Since it's a skirmish game, it doesn't really operate in squads. Exactly, yeah. Full size 300 point game of N4. I haven't played Code 1 yet. I just, like I said, that's all that I've played. I've played a couple learning games, and the starter kits are about 6 or 7 models a piece. Definitely no expert. Dog hair everywhere. You bought Operation Kaldstrom, right? I don't know what it's called. I just took the models.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, that's right. I just yoinked the models. I said these ones look cool. Okay, this is not looking right, so I'm just going to pull it up to my face so that I can fix this. Because obviously I am missing something here. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Stop touching it, Tanya. At a certain point, you just have to kind of accept it is what it is, and then move on to the next highlight layer. Okay, so now back into that next color. It's going to need to be thinned a bit more because it's mostly Army Painter. Okay. So this entire armor panel is going to get this brighter color. We're going to do this little bump here. All this. I'm going to leave a little bit at the bottom here in that toxic mist color. That's going to be a little bit where my shadow is going to be. And then here, more water. I'm going to leave a little bit of shadow on this side as well. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit tricky, but I'm just going to do my best here to do a little edge highlight. A little edge highlight. And a little edge highlight here if I can. If not, I'm not going to worry too much about it. No, okay. And that's fine. I'm going to do, it's coming this way, so I'm going to do a little bit of this lighter color on the inside, just on this corner. Okay, next. And again, so now this is mostly Monument Hobbies, so it doesn't need to be thinned probably at all. The water from the brush is going to be more than likely enough. And then I'm going to do a little bit there and an edge highlight here. I'm going to do this little bump here. And a little bit just here. Do you ever get like that little buildup of pigment on the end of your brush? It's so infuriating. For the price of these brushes, I'm fairly impressed with them, but they don't seem to hold their point super well. But I mean, that could just be because I'm used to using big brushes that do. They hold their point fairly well. So I'm going to do an edge highlight down here. I'm going to leave a little bit of shadow sort of like in the middle down here. Okay, and then this is going to be hard. I'm going to do another edge highlight here. And like I said, it doesn't matter if I get paint on the black, because I'm going to be more than likely redoing all of that black. However, I did get some white over here, so I'm just going to cover that up so that when I go to do those, it'll be like a nice blank canvas. Okay, so now in with the white edge highlight. So I'm not going to do all of this. I'm going to do an edge highlight on this bottom corner. So this side. Whoops. As I get. Damn it. Damn it. Okay, we'll try that again. Okay. Try it again. There we go. And then along the bottom edge here. Where else do we need white edge highlights? Whether I like it or not, I need a little one here. It doesn't need to be along the whole edge of the panel, just along the top bit there. I'm going to do a little bit here. I'm going to do a little bit along here, but again, I'm not going to do like the whole way down. I'm just going to do a little bit. Probably just to the corner. Yeah. And then we definitely need to do this whole edge. This top one here. And I'm going to do probably just this one here. And a little bit here. I'm going to do a little bit on the top here. Okay. And a little bit here. I'll fix up this corner though. I think I messed it up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to look at it up close because I'm blind. Yeah, I'm pretty okay with that. So there we go. Okay, I did way more of that on stream than I thought I would. But I'm really happy with the gradient that I have. I'm really happy with like how much depth it has, because I do find sometimes when you paint these light colors, it's like black too. I struggle more with black than I do with these light colors. But light colors are still really hard to kind of get a lot of depth in them. And I hope that maybe I taught you a little bit about, maybe starting at a bit of a darker color when you're painting these, um and maybe taught you a little bit about like being patient with these light colors to avoid getting a lot of texture on your model. Man, I can't believe I did like two thighs. I did two thighs. What? So if you have any questions about the process, feel free to leave them in the chat. I'm just going to marvel at how quickly I did those, because that seemed a lot faster than what I did on these guys, while looking just as good. So I'm just gonna take a moment and just... Good job, Tanya. Good job. Um, and yeah, I'm actually really excited with how this guy is turning out. I think once all that white is all done, I think it's really gonna come together. And then what do we do? So next week, I'm gonna do all the rest of this off camera. So I'm going to do that today, and then next week I'm going to do the really simple outlines and highlights and stuff that I do on the black. We're going to do that on stream. Actually, no, we'll probably do the green on stream. I think it'll be better to do the green first, just because this is a little bit yeah, it's going to be harder, I think, to do if I do. Yeah. So we'll do the green next week, and then the week after that we'll do the black, and then it'll be done. I'll just do the base off stream, and then we'll be done, and we can move on to maybe some orcs or something. Could be fun. But yeah, so what else do I have going on this week? So Wednesday we're gonna continue looking at the new 40K rules. So I'm just gonna like pick a keyword and talk about it. Haven't quite decided yet. And then yeah, I'm gonna make a video. It'll probably be the last video that I make with my phone. So that's exciting. Um, Tomorrow I'm going to be playing Age of Sigmar with my friend Jordan. So I think we might stream in the. Okay, if anybody wants to watch, I'll stream in the Discord, and then if not, then I will probably just not stream it. So it'll be ogres versus gits. I'm sure that I'm gonna lose. I just can't figure out how to beat these gits. Um, what else do I have this week? I don't really have much else, but I have a ton of stuff happening in the background. So I'm gonna have a little um, coffee meeting with my co-host of my new podcast, and just getting stuff ready behind the scenes to start recording. So that's really exciting. And that's all that I have this week. As always, if you have any questions for me, send me a message in the Patreon or the Patreon Discord. That's always like the best place to get me. And I'll have more details also about the Nova Open Charitable Foundation uh, summer or spring raffle. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, go check it out. All you have to do is type in Nova Open Charitable Foundation, and then it'll come right up. And there's a ton of amazing things that you can win. And all the proceeds go to really great organizations. And then I believe that it is the 15th. It's either the 13th or 15th. I will get the details closer to the date. And we're going to be doing a live stream for that, which should be really fun, where we go over the winners and whatnot. And yeah, so I'll have more details about that coming up closer to the day. And yeah, so that's all I got for you all. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know it was a little bit of a chill stream, but and more of a teaching stream. I'm so glad that you came to hang out with me. And until next time, be nice and roll dice. Bye, everybody.